Episode 7. I always get the numbers wrong. This is 7, right?
Is it 6 or 7, man? I actually don't even know.
I think it's 7. I think it's 7. I think we did obviously 6 last week.
Yeah.
Episode 7. Everyone is a DJ. Guys, thanks so much for the feedback, the comments, the engagement. The last episode was great, so we appreciate that. And we promise to try and bring these every single week, man. Every Tuesday we're here, myself and Wesley.
What's good?
And yeah,
What's
man,
good?
let's keep it going.
Bro, it's actually episode 6, just by the way. I just verified. Fact check.
It's 6?
It's 6, yeah.
Okay, guys. Episode 6. 7 next week.
Seven
All right.
next week. Yeah.
All right. Wesley, man, it's Sunday. Can I say how was your weekend? It's not over for you yet. I think you still have, obviously, you're in Toronto, so you're 5 hours behind. How's it going?
Yeah, bro, I had a pretty chill weekend. For a change. Kind of trying to take it easy, just kind of settle back into the flow. So yeah, Friday night just caught a movie, and then yesterday I went to go watch a hockey game. So pretty wholesome, man.
Which movie did you watch, man?
I watched Marty Supreme. Yeah, it's a banger. It's a really good movie. I mean, Timothée Chalamet. I think that was nominated Golden Globes and all that stuff, and deserved.
Oscars.
Really
Yeah,
good,
man.
really
Stunning reviews on that movie. I still haven't watched it. There's a lot of movies I haven't watched this year, honestly. Avatar 3, I still want to watch.
You know what? I watched Avatar 3. I'm not a big Avatar guy, bro. That's gonna be controversial for some people, but it's just not my thing.
No?
Yeah, I can't get into it. It's like, first of all, it's too long, bro. The movie's like 3.5 hours, and it's just much, man.
Too much. I mean, the last movie I think I watched in the cinema was F1.
Okay.
Great movie. Yeah, it was a great movie. But honestly, yeah, I think going to the cinema is worth it if it's like a blockbuster and you're going for, visual effects and that experience, IMAX. But yeah, I usually kind of stay home and find something online to watch, especially now with Netflix. Like, it's so good, right? You can just,
Yeah.
enjoy the comfort of your home and watch movies on TV, man.
Yeah, bro. No, it was good. Good for a change, bro. But what about you, man? What you been up to on your side?
I feel like my weekend started Thursday. Thursday in London, we had this networking event / panel discussion put together by Bartella. Bartella is, I think, a key figure, I would say, in the London Afro House scene, let's say that. So yeah, he put together this event, which I would say it was a way to bring Afro House people in London in one room and have conversations about Afro House and the journey about Club Records. So it was Club Records, Sondela, Bad Box. Bad Box talked about his relationship with Black Coffee and how pretty much he was a key part of Black Coffee's growth and success. So it was great to hear those stories. I talked about Club Record, how the label started, how I started in content creation and where we're going, what we're trying to do. Sondela, about their events, sounds that they're trying to push. And yeah, shout out to Louis. He was very well spoken on that on that panel discussion.
Okay.
And we also had a mixing and mastering engineer. Very, very technical, man. I think if you were an engineer or a producer in that room, you definitely left with some tips, man. It was cool. It was a cool night.
So, but who was there, like, from a crowd? Was it like, were there a lot of like independent artists, producers, DJs just come to network and socialize, or was it more like in this London industry kind of people?
Yeah, I would say definitely local artists.
Okay.
I'm gonna piss some people off, I think, because I'm sure I'm gonna forget some names. There were definitely some notable artists there. Lazarus Man was there. Lazarus Man was there. Yeah. And the thing is, like, a lot of people don't know that Lazarus Man now lives in London. So he showed up. People are like, "Oh my God, it's you! I love your voice."
Yeah.
It's just like, he's a legend, Lazarus Man. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
And people that we know, of course, were there. But it was good, man. I think Afro House, when it comes to collaborating outside of music, not a lot happens, right? I think
Yeah.
it's a small community. We all know each other. We see each other. We party together. We DM each other all the time. There's conversations on WhatsApp. But I think when it comes to connecting in other ways and that are more human, nothing goes on. So I've got to give it to Bartella for putting this together because it takes courage, organization, time, and risk, right, to put something like this together. And yeah, I was happy to be a part of the first one. But I think if you're listening to this and you're not, you're living somewhere that's not in London and you're thinking of putting something like this together, definitely do it because there's artists out there that need to hear it from the horse's mouth, especially this
Yeah.
type of information. Like it's so important, man. It's so important.
No, I thought it was cool, especially like the whole thing. I always say like in the music industry there's a lot of gatekeeping, backstabbing, snaking that goes on, especially on the local level, local DJs and local venues, and all those kinds of opportunities are really hard to break into. So I was having a conversation with this DJ from Toronto the other day, and we were talking about exactly that. So yeah, shout out to Bartella again for trying to break down that kind of like um those kind of going ons that happen, because Toronto is tough, man. I asked this guy recently. I said, "Yeah, I want to get some gigs here. Like, I want to start, playing a bit more." And he's like, "I think you should just focus on another city, man." He's like, "Why would you do Toronto?" It's like, I live here. Like, what am I
Live here,
supposed
man.
to do? So, nah, it looked
No, I
cool. It
get
looked
it.
it looked cool. I gotta be there for the next one, I think.
No, listen, I think most people need support. Like
Yeah,
being a producer, it's can be quite lonely and it's extremely personal that a lot of the times you don't feel confident in sharing your art or asking questions that are personal because
yeah,
being an artist, you have to put yourself out there. And I think, people that I was speaking to, I was thanking them for coming because I get it. Like it is extremely vulnerable to expose yourself, man. Being an artist, I think it's isn't the easiest, especially now when you're looking at AI, you're looking at streaming, and in terms of like um um cost of living, like streaming doesn't cut it, right? So there's a lot of emotions that go into being an artist, and I think these spaces help artists be more confident and continue to chase their dream.
yeah,
But that's one side of it. And then the other side of it was, someone asks a question and you give an answer, someone doesn't like it, and then it ends up on social media, as you saw, and someone wasn't very happy with one of the questions that was asked and
yeah.
how I answered it. But
For those
yeah,
that don't know, for those that are listening, Manu got called out. I'm not gonna mention the page. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. Manu got called out for
yeah,
a 7-second story, I think it was, that he
it
was
was.
talking, and it's just so out of context, man. Like, what happened, bro? Tell me.
So again, going back to vulnerability and artists trying to find their sound, right?
Hmm.
So one of the questions was, you guys talk a lot about originality and finding your sound and making music and creating a sound of your own. And he said, how do you create something out of nothing, right? So I was like, bang, bang, bang. I think I said, I even forget what I said now, but I was like using an example of Connie Music and Black Coffee. And I said, yeah, they created something out of nothing. They have their own identity. You want something that you own, blah, blah, blah. And then, someone recorded that. But when they recorded that, they agreed with what I was saying, right? So they recorded it
Yeah,
from a place of, oh man, Manu is dropping gems or whatever. They put it up there. I reshared it. And then this page, this guy took that clip, made a whole post with like bold font and big
Yeah.
letters, almost like it was a breaking news thing, and it was just like, we need to call out these influencers. And I'm like, number one, I never call myself an influencer. Like, I've never called myself an influencer in my life. And he's like, these so-called influencers that are speaking for the culture and acting like they know everything. I'm just like, number one,
Yeah.
I only post other people's music. When I'm posting is usually me supporting other artists, right? It's never from a place of, look at me, I know everything. No, it's like, what I do is support artists, right? So immediately the language he was using and the energy was off. So I was like, all right, this is a personal attack,
Yeah. Bro,
right? It was so
it,
stupid.
it was aggressive. It was aggressive. I saw it. I messaged Manu right away. I was like, this is aiming at you, bro. And there's just no need, man. There's just no need. I don't get it. But anyway, each to their own, bro.
No, listen, people text me and they were like, man, this is so out of order.
Yeah.
What is he like? What's this? Why they're just coming at you guys because you're actually adding value and things are happening. But listen, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think,
Yeah.
you know, it's easy to take things out of context and gain some clout, but he deleted it. I think he deleted it because yesterday I was trying to look for the post and it's gone. But again, guys, I am the type of person, I don't get into, these back and forths, right? Because I know why I do what I do, and yeah, y- you've gotta, before you come at someone, I always try and go to them directly. Go to the person directly if you've got something to say first,
No,
and then
exactly.
that's how I would do it anyway.
I mean, just final words. It's just like it was so anti the event as well, because the event was all about, communication and collaboration and knowledge sharing, and then you go and do something like that. It's just, yeah, out of order. Anyway,
Right.
anyway, big Thursday night for you. Friday, I want to talk about Friday, man, because Friday for Afro House Music release day. Oh my god, bro, high caliber,
Ooh,
high caliber. I want to
listen,
start this time. I'm gonna start with our track, Rooney. Rooney.
bro,
Rooney. So for those listening, guys, Rooney is our latest release on Club Record by a artist called Tony Shades. He's Lisbon based, I think from Switzerland, right? Originally
correct.
from Switzerland, and yeah, the track is blowing up, man. Big support from Kind of Music and me, Black Coffee. I saw Moike. That's how you say their name.
Mike,
Moike was.
Mike, like that.
They were supporting it over the week. Tell me about Rooney, bro.
Rooney is an original sound. Rooney is a different sound. Rooney is a big sound. And I've got to give it
Yeah,
to Tony Shades because, again, making a release happen takes a lot, but it took a lot more than usual with this one. There were leaks. People leaked it a few times. Like, we saw different versions go up on Spotify. Um, like it was a lot happening with this track. So to finally see it out and for it to be performing, we've invested some budget in it. So we actually believe in this track and want it to do well, not just for us, but primarily for Tony Shades.
yeah,
This one, if you haven't heard it yet, just take your time. Take a seat, use the best headphones you've got, close your eyes, just zone in because this one just is gonna, take you on a trip. Take you on a trip. But yeah, listen, there was a lot more tracks, I think, at the level of a Rooney that
yeah.
came out on Friday. I also liked Timeless. Simon Ajna came out. That was great. What other tracks, man? I'm blacking out now.
Yeah, I mean, other more notable ones. I think you gotta mention Ape Drum's 222 on Sundella Recordings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Following one, well, he's doing this 111 222. Is there gonna be a 333? I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's
It's
see.
similar to Bon Shopper, right? It's like he's
Yeah,
never gonna run out of cities. You're never gonna run out of numbers. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Why not? I like it. It's there's a story with it. People are gonna connect with it. People are instantly gonna know, you know, they're gonna feel it instantly. So I would keep it going, man. It's a great strategy, bro. It's a great strategy.
Yeah, he's doing the 3 thing. FFM as well was another one in the similar structure, but there was quite a lot of releases, man. I mean, shout out, lots of good music coming out of South Africa too. Zakes dropped a song with Skywanda called Fizulu, really beautiful track, very Zakes
Uh,
Bantwini. FKA Mash did an Afro Gritch remix of
I did the
Oskilo's
remix.
track.
Mosquito.
Re- yeah, really good. Major League DJs dropped. Sunel Musician dropped with Junior SA. Francis dropped another remix. He
You
did
got
one
a
last
remix
week.
out.
Yeah, on MechTube Records and
Unreleased, right? Avo on unreleased.
Make It Smooth. Yeah, that was a good one too. And then I think the other two to mention, Leva K's track with the organ
Oh, beautiful track.
and
He's
Imad's
tough.
On Top.
It's tough, tough, tough. Listen, that was January 30th, right?
January 30th, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Friday marked the end of, you know, that holiday season, that New Year hangover. That's all done because January 30th, the releases was like, all right, 2026 is here. Let's put in work. Let's make it happen. And I think this year is going to be a crazy, crazy year for our sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, February, I'm expecting a lot more of this kind of powerful music. Um, but yeah, man, it was crazy, bro. Crazy, crazy release day.
Yeah, playtime is really over, man. For like, from my side, I'm trying to get back serious with the gym, serious with the diet. Summer's coming soon, bro. Summer is gonna come soon, and
Summer body
yeah, you don't wanna be
in progress.
it's in progress. But yeah, I can't be looking like a pudgy penguin in summertime again, bro. It's not
Oh my
happening.
goodness. Nah, listen. This summer, bro, we gotta make it happen, man. Put in work now. Now between now and yeah, you're looking at what, late April, early May. You got some time, man. You got some time. You gotta, tighten up the diet,
Yeah.
maybe have one less beer here and there.
Yeah, beer. I think beer is the killer for me. If I could even switch it out for like, seltzer or, something with soda, vodka soda. But I love beer,
Happy
man.
dad,
So
a few happy dads.
a few happy days here and there, yeah. But yeah, man, time to lock in, time to grind. I think something notable going on in our scene right now that I'm excited for, speaking of summer potentially is Daft Punk and Rampa. There's rumors
Yeah.
circulating, bro. Have you been seeing that?
Yeah, I saw a few pages post about this potential collab of Daft Punk and Rampa. I mean, what is that gonna sound like?
Yeah, I don't
Would it
know.
be like a disco track with that kind of music, low end and that bounce? Crazy. I mean, if there's an artist and producer that's gonna do that and dabble in different genres and deliver, I think it's Rampa, man. He's got the production skill.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's at that level now where you could argue there's not an artist in the world that he can't be in the room with in terms of networking.
No, I mean he's done big collabs, man. You forget like he's worked with Drake, he's worked with Anima, um he's worked with so many, just like versatility as a producer is just on another level. So I'm also wondering, is it actually going to be a collaboration musically, like they're in the studio, or would it be like a collaboration like he did with Anima, which is more on the hardware side of things?
Yeah, that guy's also a geek. I don't think people talk enough about how geeky and technical and his other projects like Taylor and the other things he's got going on.
Yeah.
Very entrepreneurial, which I think is a side to Ramp that we don't speak enough of. Like even last week, you know, on his stories, he was sharing the Taylor office, and bro, this is a whole operation. Like, there's employees in there. There's a lot of hardware. They're working in there, man. So
Yeah.
that kind of music brand is it's a group, even. You know, it's a group. Like they've got different operations and different things that are working. But also, I think that is how you do it, right? I think a lot of people when they reach a certain level of success they feel like they've arrived. But what kind of music is done now, especially with Taylor, right? You've got the USBs. Bro, I don't go to a DJ set now and I don't see a Taylor USB.
Everyone's bro, it's everyone. But I think as well the Revolo is gonna start to become like I think a standard part of DJ setup now. Cause it's just
Yeah,
like all the clubs are putting them in. It's a lot of DJs as well, they'll just show up with their own because it's that additional like creativity that you have at your disposal, which I think is amazing.
for sure. Yeah, man. That Revolo, the USB,
Yeah.
just they are adding value and they are giving DJs things that they actually want to use and they like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
going
it's
back to
great.
this, yeah, go on.
No, no, no. I was gonna say I think like they could probably come up with like a competitor to like a CDJ. But that's not really what they're doing, man. They're just adding additional layers of things that aren't available with like standard DJ equipment.
But also, it's like, bro, listen, there isn't something that they couldn't do right
Yeah,
now. But I guess it gets to a point where it's like, when do you stop? When is it too much? Because if you got the USB, I mean, the Taylor thing is speakers, USB, hardware, gadgets, et cetera. Uh,
yeah,
I'm sure they've got other stuff in progress, but it's a lot, man. It's a lot. You know, if you
yeah,
look at even AP, right? AP, they've got stuff happening with AP. There's different brands like fashion. We haven't even talked about fashion, bro. Like
yeah. That's a whole
it's
nother conversation.
that's a
I
whole
mean,
nother conversation.
yeah, I know the discussion is on the Daft Punk side, but I just wanted to add because it's kind of fitting is that I mean, if you're looking at DJ equipment as a market, right? Um, you like when I was a kid, the number one controller I wanted was Tractor Native Instruments, right? And they just filed for bankruptcy, didn't they?
Insolvency, yeah, that is one of the recent news from this
Yeah,
week as well. I mean, it is this age of kind of DAWs and people just needing less and less hardware, right? So,
yeah.
you know, I'm just imagining the warehouses and all the stock that they have and probably have to get rid of now. Like, what's going to happen to all that stuff? And yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't when I was looking into this, the conversation wasn't a lot about AI. It was more about private equities and things like that. So
Okay.
it's a bit it went a bit over my head, but I'm sure the AI conversation was somewhere in there and just how everything is innovating and moving away from hardware obviously was one of the reasons why this is happening.
So I really wonder like what that collaboration with Daft Punk is gonna look like. I mean, there's so many different realms of collaboration possibilities beyond just they make a track together. It could be almost infinite, right? So let's see.
Let's
We'll
see what
find out.
happens, man. What else happened? I think in terms of news, Daft Punk and Rampa, I think was a big one. We just touched quickly on native instruments. Listen, I'm continuing to see a lot of opinions on Instagram. I'm not sure why that's happening right now. Like everyone's got something to say about the sound. There's a lot of strong opinions about whether it's everyone's making the same sound, whether it's egos in the DJ space. What is Afro House? Why do you think these strong opinions are so apparent now? Do you think it's because of like social media and TikTok and DJ has become such an accessible activity.
Yeah, look, I want to say that I mean this conversation is not new. It's years and years, and I think the conversation about what is Afro House, what isn't Afro House, and who deserves credit, it evolves every year. But I think first and foremost, it always starts with the guys who are, I guess, more older in the scene and more mature, have been releasing music for a long time. So I don't know. I mean, we all saw the Bodhisattva video that came out this week, and this is exactly what he was talking about. It's about, what is Afro House? What is the history of Afro House? I mean, he was saying, okay, Afro House has kind of been a thing for the last 50 years. And, guys like him, Osunlade, and a few others were kind of the first pioneers, or some of the first pioneers, rather, for African electronic music. Modern day, we call it Afro House, but just generally, it is African electronic music that's been around for a long time, right?
Right.
But it gets to a point now on social media where there are certain themes of music that come out and like, oh, this is Afro House, this is Afro House. And there's a lot because of that engine of social media and virality on TikTok and Instagram. There's more and more of that becoming just, I guess, apparent, to the average person, while guys like Bodhisattva are not achieving as much virality. But Bodhisattva releases every Friday without fail. Every Friday, Bodhisattva drops a track.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he does. He does. I mean,
Independently.
yeah, independently, he's got his own record label actually. So he just drops it. He just drops it. He posts about it. He's pretty quiet about it too. But yeah, Bodhi is active, man. He releases a lot of music, but
I wanna figure out the number of releases he has. Like, not even releases, the number of tracks, individual tracks.
that
Whether
he
it's
has.
a part of an album or a single, but individual tracks that Bodhisattva has. You think it's over or under 1,000?
Uh, good question. I'm just scrolling through
I think it's under
his
under a
Spotify
thousand.
right now. Got to be
Gotta
under
be.
1,000. I mean, every Friday that's 52 releases. I mean, all of 2025 at least, he dropped every single Friday, and he hasn't stopped since then.
No, listen, he's a legend. Bodhi's a legend. I think when I first got into the sound, I was listening to a lot of Bodhi.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
the thing is, at that time, it was quite educational, and it was almost like planting the first seeds of Afro House in your mind, and you're like, okay, this is what Afro House is supposed to sound like.
Yeah,
You're listening to music, that type of sound for the first time, and you're like, all right, Bodhi. Number one, you're like, what is this track? You see his name, and you're like, okay, Bodhi. Like, that's one of the first artists that you see. So he's a
but
legend.
it's yeah. I mean, it's a difficult conversation though, because it's like, then if you really start to break it down as like what does it mean to that a song can be called Afro House or not, right? Obviously, it means some obvious characteristics, very very percussion intensive. Those kinds of elements are kind of just layer one, but it really does go beyond that, and I think it follows our conversation we had. Was it last episode or the episode before? It's like, do we need more categories on Beatport? Is Afro House too much of an umbrella to different things? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, if there's anyone that has got the authority and credibility to speak on this, is him,
Yeah.
right? No one has the right to tell him how he feels and how the Afro House conversation should be navigated. Like, no. Body Body is like a board member, an Afro House board member. Like, he
Official, yeah.
has got skin in the game. That's Body, bro. Like, put some respect on my guy's name. Like, that's Body. Um, I think where I take a step back when it comes to this conversation is who should be making the music. I don't get into those conversations. Who should be making Afro House? I think that's where I'm just like, let people express themselves, let people create, let people, you know, contribute how they want to contribute. But again, Afro House now, I'm sure if we were to look at the listener stats on Spotify, the top territories would be outside of Africa, undoubtedly, for Afro House, right? So Afro House is a sound now that's being consumed a lot by people outside of Africa. Like the listeners, when it comes to Afro House, they're from Europe, they're from the East Coast, they're from Middle East, Asia,
Yeah.
even. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a international sound now. So naturally, you're gonna have producers from these territories interpreting the sound how they want and use their influences and their culture, which is not African, to make these sounds.
I
That's
think
just a natural
yeah,
thing.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I think as well it's also just it's contextually about what these newer newcomers, let's say, or new producers who are making Afro
Yeah.
house music, what they've actually been exposed to and where they draw that inspiration from. Like I can guarantee there's a lot of, young producers out there drawing inspiration from the big modern names, but they won't necessarily know who Bodhisattva is, what is his history, what is his contribution. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And I think that was kind of the point of his video is it's not like, yo, you guys need to know what you're actually doing. Like what is the history of the sound? Where did it come from? Who are the guys? And what was the evolution from, the beginning until now? And I think
100%.
as an encouragement just to learn from that history to also, I guess, pay homage to, the roots a little bit more, which is a common theme when discussing this kind of topic, right? So
But
I
the thing
get it,
is
man.
also, yeah, I think you've got people as well that were instrumental in building Afro House to where it is now, that look at it as um, a compliment, and it's it's almost like an honor for them to see countries far from Africa try to emulate and try to recreate their version of Afro House. Whether it's Afro House or not Afro House, you can definitely sense that that is what inspired their sound. I mean, if I look at even a label like House and Frame, right, and you've got Arbor from Albania,
Yeah.
like these guys are making Afro tech, but you can tell it's European Afro tech, but it's, this is Da Capo, this is Eno, this is fucking Cairo, like, and it's very successful music that they're making. Like, these are getting streams, they're getting plays, but the people that are making them are from Albania. They're from, you know, these Eastern European countries. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing overall, man, because it's 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 also like an opportunity to show the culture and get Africa out there more, I think.
I agree. I mean, something I'd like to see a little bit more of though is just collaboration with cross-border collaboration, let's call it that, to make it more general. There's a lot of, I mean, I think there's good collaboration, especially on the vocalist side. Like, artists from all over the world are working with, I would say it's still a handful of vocalists that kind of like appear quite regularly on tracks, but I'd love to see like, the capo go and collaborate, with the guys from Albania and let's see what happens. Do you know what I mean? So, my
How does
question,
that happen? Like,
yeah,
because I think someone has to text first, right? Someone has to make the first step.
yeah,
And this is an industry where you have to, I don't it's not, I don't want to say a sign of weakness. I'm trying to say something else. But someone has to show that vulnerability of being like, hey, what's up? Love what you're doing. Let's work together. Right. Not a lot of artists can do that. Right. Not a lot of big artists and artists that aren't at the same level are going to do that. I think that happens a lot if you're at the same level.
yeah.
Right. But if you're not, that's not really something that happens. I'm not sure what the answer is and to enable more collaborations, but I'd love to see it too, like names that you wouldn't think. Um, I try to connect people sometimes, but I see what you mean. Like, I think that collaboration needs to happen a lot more because I think the whole scene would benefit from it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not
exactly.
sure what the answer is.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, are there other ways that not just artists or DJs can collaborate, beyond just making a track? Like what other opportunities could there be for collaboration? Events? I don't know. What do you think?
I think events for sure. I think giving people a platform to speak because no one
Yeah.
speaks. No one speaks. I think all we see on social media is DJ event wrap up carousels, and you know that's all we see. It's people's gigs and
Yeah.
videos from that, or camera rolls, or life lately type posts, which is fine. It's great, but isn't really adding anything to the experience. I think it's just like all of the same. I mean, my probably one of my favorite pages is or people and friends, right? And friends keeps it fresh, and friends always has a conversation, and friends makes you stop as you're scrolling on social media and makes you really read and
Yeah.
consume and absorb. So I would say if you need to follow anyone that does things differently, I would say and friends has to be at the top for me,
I agree with that. I mean,
right?
I have this part of me that wishes that a lot of DJs were a bit more YouTuber kind of people, and like, they're vlogging, they're filming videos while they're touring, and then they link up with so and so in this city, and then he's on his videos, they're on their videos, and it's just like it breaks down that barrier. I think that would be cool.
James Hype is good. Josh Baker is good.
Yeah.
Shimza should do it. Shimza, if you're
Shinza,
watching this,
please, man.
I know you've got a videographer with you all the time. You know him. We know him. Shout out to Flash. Guys, let's put in work on YouTube because people would watch that for sure with Shimza. Sam and Ajna too.
Yeah, Simon Ash is a good one.
Um,
That'd be sick.
but also it's also like you could argue they don't want to show too much of their source. But I don't think that should be a thing actually, because I think it only helps your brand grow.
I agree. I know Mujo tried it for a bit, and I think yeah, he just kind of took a break from touring as well around that time. I think around the time he had his kid.
Yeah.
But I loved his videos. It was amazing. I mean, it was in French mostly, but translation and everything, it's great. And you
Really
look,
good. Yeah.
you have the liberty to control how much you want to show. It's your video, it's your edit. So if you don't want certain things to show up in the video, like that's cool, right?
I agree, man. I think you know, I've been a bit inconsistent when it comes to like showing that behind the scenes stuff because it does take effort, as anything that is rewarding should take effort.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I think it starts small. Start small. Same as this podcast, like, it took us some time to get it going. But even now, right, we're seeing some results with the reels, right? And that is gonna motivate you to keep sharing the reels and keep sharing content. So I think, yeah, you've got to just put in the work first, and then as you start seeing the rewards, it does become easier. But as you say, man, I would love to see more DJ content. Like
Yeah.
Shim's Coffee. I'm not sure if that's the personality, and he would do that, but Coffee, I think, I would
Oh,
love to. Same with Kind of Music, but again, I think, what super DJ shows that behind the scenes side. I think it's also part of being at that level. You've gotta leave some mystery, bro. Otherwise, you can't be too accessible. I think that is why, someone
yeah.
like Beyonce doesn't do any interviews. These huge stars, you have to keep some mystery. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got a point there. But then like it like if you look at James Hype, going back to him, his
Yeah.
content is very much, it's one topic. It's really about the music, and the equipment, and it's not so much about, okay, James Hype has this and this going on in his life, or whatever, right? So I think there's a medium that you can kind of find, but hey, we'll see. One day, let's see if more DJs start
Yeah, I
doing it.
mean, James Hype is very much tour life, very much tour life. James
Yeah,
Hype. Most DJs do tour life, and I'm in this city, this set, what I'm doing in between. Um, but again, different personalities share different content types. So, you know, I think everyone's got an opportunity here, man. Maybe as a last topic,
yeah,
right? We're just talking about DJs, especially DJs at that high level. And it was actually a question that was asked at the event on last Thursday in London, around fees, DJ fees, and DJ prices, and what sets the market. How should you negotiate? Um, if you're an event promoter, if you are a DJ starting out, what price should you set? You know, there's a lot of uncertainties and questions when it comes to money
yeah,
in the DJ world. I mean, even for me, right? I'm kind of up and coming, and you know, there's always that, man. What should I be charging? But you do my bookings, right? So, but how do you look at this this conversation?
yeah. Look, there's a lot of factors, right? I think first and foremost, it's what is the gig and where is the gig, right? So when we get an offer, if it's in London, for example, that's a whole different conversation than you going to Nairobi, or you going to Romania, or Canada, for example. Because for a DJ that's leaving your home territory, there's a variety of costs that need to be considered. I mean, the biggest one is always the flight, right? So you need to get there,
Yeah.
cover your costs, and make some money on top of it. That's just basic business, right? So revenue minus costs is profit. Now, if you're doing it locally, like I think you mentioned that, if you're a DJ starting out, how much do you charge? I mean, that's a good question. Like, what did you do when you were starting out in London? How did you navigate that?
Well, some people say never play for free. You
Yeah.
know.
Well,
Well,
yes and no.
again, I don't know if I believe that. Never play for free, because what if you play and it's the best set of your life, and there's someone in the crowd that can provide an opportunity, or you can create content from that free gig that you can repurpose and use in multiple ways: Instagram, TikTok, Shorts. You can
Yeah.
record a whole DJ set, put it on SoundCloud, put it on YouTube, right? There's so many things that you can do from a free gig. So I get it. Never play for free. It's almost like, everyone has a value, which obviously, that's just a human basic right, I guess. But free gigs can bring opportunities, bro. Bring visibility, elevate your social media profile. Um, but I get it. And it's also, you know, every situation is different. Every case is different. Like, if you're not in a position where you can play for free, don't play for free. If you
Yeah.
don't, if you're not that financially strained and you've got the time and you can get the content, there's always negotiating something isn't always just about money, right?
Exactly.
When we negotiate, I'm like, okay, the fee might not be what I wished, but is there going to be a photographer? Is there going to be a videographer?
Yeah, it's
What
also
is the
like, I
rider?
mean,
You know what I mean?
the key as well is like the networking aspect of it is like, okay, if this is your first time playing in this place, like, okay, that's a good opportunity to build connection with the promoters, but then also the fans on the ground, the audience there. You're taking that opportunity as well to build your audience out, as well as your network. um but then again, it's like, if you come back the next time, you know can you charge a little bit more if it's a bigger venue, for example? that's also makes sense that something you might think about is like, okay, bigger venue, bigger audience. Can I charge a little bit more this time? And somebody who's really good at that is Francis. I don't know. I'm sure his fee structure was the same, but every time he goes back somewhere, he always aims for a bigger venue, more or less, right? So he started here, then he went there, then he went there. And then, by the third or fourth time he's back, he's playing for 1,000 plus people, right?
That is
Uh,
data. That is data. That is planning. That
yeah,
is taking your career seriously, right? Like, you know, if you are serious about your career, you need to have a spreadsheet with venues, with
yeah,
numbers, with goals, and every now and then analyze it, see where you are. This
exactly.
is, we're giving you real facts and real information here, right? Francis does this. We do this. We've got a spreadsheet with this stuff. Like, you need to record,
Yeah.
and capture. It's almost like, yeah, you're just capturing. Sorry, but yeah, you have to capture all of this.
Yeah, and it's also like it's okay to start small, right? So when doing that research, okay, like I'm targeting this and this, okay, what venues are appropriate for me for where I'm at? Start there, get in touch, knock on doors.
Mm,
And then, use that as a foundation and learning and then build from there. That's how I think people should approach it really.
yeah, I think, yeah, again, when it comes to fees, what should you charge? There's never a one answer,
Yeah, very tough question.
unless you're at the top and that's your price and you don't move. But most of the times that number is negotiable, and
Yeah,
there's room to negotiate.
yeah.
So I
I'd say,
think,
yeah,
yeah,
I'd say don't be afraid to ask. Don't be arrogant about it. Don't be cheeky about it. But if you don't ask, you don't get. But within reason,
yeah,
absolutely.
be respectful. I think be respectful. If you have someone that can negotiate for you is always better, because that just avoids, you know, awkwardness, because you never want
Yeah,
to be, not never, but it's difficult to be an artist that has those tough conversations about money with a promoter. I think you
yeah,
always want to be, you always want someone to have those conversations for you. It protects you, it removes you from that awkwardness, and it keeps things more about the music when it comes to the artist. Let your manager, let your booking agent be the arsehole, because that's what, they
exactly,
get paid to do. And promoters are used to that. They're just used to that, right? So it's just the easier process.
absolutely. Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah,
Always
I think
have
I like
somebody in
that. Yeah,
between you. Yeah,
absolutely.
agreed, man. Agreed.
Nice. Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Episode 6 coming to an end, guys. Um, Again, leave some questions for us for the next episode. I think we didn't have enough time this time around to answer all questions. There were some questions about AI, and I feel like, we always talk about AI, so maybe let's save it for the next conversation.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, like the podcast, leave a comment. Even if you're watching on Spotify, guys, you can leave a comment on Spotify. So we will answer YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Thanks for listening. My name is Manu. That's Wesley G. Everyone is a DJ. Peace.
peace, guys.